it's still quite young for acceptance for women into programs that would prepare them to be accepted for a role as an astronaut. So I think that it's still early days to see a lot of women having been there. But then again, it's early days for seeing a lot of other genders going in space too. I mean, men, there's not a whack of men that they don't go up every day for sure. I do think, however, that if we're still hovering around 10% of people who've gone to space as being women, it's still very shy of individuals. And in Canada, I mean, let's face it, there have only been 2 women in 30 years who've gone over 30 years who've gone into space. Being first is important because there's a heavy responsibility. Unfortunately, when you're the first at doing anything, people tend to take that experience, and if it's bad, people say, see, you shouldn't have picked a woman. Well, that's so dumb, because if a man had messed up, you say, well, that's just the law of averages. But it always rests on the shoulders of a woman to do things exceptionally well, not just well, but exceptionally well. And I think we recognize that as women and overqualify, overproduce. I mean, the woman who was the first commander of this space shuttle, I asked her how she liked her trip. She said, well, I didn't really look out the window much. She said, I had to keep checking myself over and over and over and over and over again because nobody else was doing it. And I knew that if I made a mistake, how long would it be then for another woman to be a commander? Well, to quote a very famous man, it's one small step. I mean, it really is. It's a step in on many roads that I've taken. I think that if you ask me what personally has been the most important thing in my life, it has been being a doctor in terms of saving other people's lives and having an influence over other people's health. In terms of people's mental health, I would say that it's probably being concerned about the environment, and especially recently when I'm looking at birds and getting people outside into the natural world. I think if you're asking me about my credibility and platform, it's more about being an astronaut and having had a different view and different perspective and using that platform to reach people in a way that they wouldn't have been reached otherwise. I've just come back 2 days ago from a small community in Manitoba, and the young people were thanking me for coming to their community. They were asking me questions that were quite amazing, things that they wanted to learn. They were so keen on trying to understand things, and it wasn't just about space; it was about life in general. But they felt that because I had gone into space, that I had some inner wisdom as well as outer wisdom to be able to impart things to them in a way that they could understand that they couldn't understand before. So it's that kind of credibility that being an astronaut has brought. It's not just going to space and playing with my food and showing pictures of rockets and saying, wow, that's some firepower. Wasn't she lucky that she didn't die? It was rather looking at the planet differently. It was looking away from the planet differently. It was trying to give a message about hope and health and inspiration and about mental health as well as physical health. So being an astronaut has allowed me to have the credibility as well as the platform to do these things, but it encompasses all the other things I've done in life in order to make that message a credible one, because I have the content and I can back it up. The 3 things that have mattered to me most in life, and they're probably values, not probably, but they are values that I had from growing up in Sault-Ste-Marie with my parents in a small nuclear family, but being involved in community activities on a volunteer basis or whatever. I think for women, men too, but men have been doing this for generations, a lot more than women, and that is to have a protected environment when you grow up, to have a good safety net so that you can be yourself. That you're not worried about being intimidated because you want to go out with a guy that's there in the same group you're in, so you don't express yourself. So I think that the 3 things that I think of all the time is the value of curiosity that I never lose, because that propels me and my interest and my awareness of the world. The other thing, and these are not in order of importance, but the other thing is to always be in the service of others, is be considerate and open a door for people and not try to rush in front of somebody else to get off an airplane. Take, wait till your turn. And that kind of courtesy that people tend to some days forget, but to always be aware of other people. And the third thing is to be the best one can be at whatever it is you try. I mean, you raise the bar for yourself. You don't have to have other people raise the bar for you. You know how high you can put that bar.